Is the Zen CAN Signature a sound upgrade over the original iFi Zen? What improvements were made? Is it worth the price? Is there more power? What does the button do? Is this your homework, Larry? All these answers and more coming up. Greetings, comrades. Stuart Childs here, HomeStudioBasics.com, helping you make sound decisions leading to a beautiful audio experience that will make you fall in love with music all over again. So, before we get started, all links to these products as well as any articles related will be down below in the description box. Check out my gear recommendations as well for most of my top picks all in one place. If you do purchase through one of my Drop or Amazon links, I will get a small kickback depending on where you live. Purchasing through my links is a great way to thank me for helping you make a sound decision. There are many other different ways that you can help support the blog and channel down below as well. Check out my recently updated portfolio website and store for some goodies. As always, your continued support means the world to me, so thank you. Now let's talk about the Zen CAN Signature 6XX and compare it to the original iFi Zen, shall we? First, we'll discuss build, which fortunately hasn't changed much. The same rugged brushed aluminum chassis has returned, but of course the color now matches the 6XX's midnight blue and black colorway. It's a really good look for the amp, but by and large isn't going to make or break your decision. The newer model Signature does come in a little heavier than the original, which came as a surprise to me considering it's just an amp. Both feel very rugged and solid, one of the main perks of owning an iFi product for certain. The original Zen comes in at 17.6 ounces or 515 grams. The 6XX Signature comes in at 18 ounces or 527 grams. Just the DAC comes in at 16.5 ounces or 483 grams, a little bit lighter. There isn't much more to say. Build is yet again outstanding. What about features though? Features on the newer iteration Signature are going to make up the bulk of what's changed. From here on out, we're going to refer to it as a Signature. Let's dive in. Firstly, the Signature is obviously not a combo all-in-one like the original Zen was. It's a bit more of an involved process setting everything up, but very easy nonetheless. First, use an RCA to RCA male. Plug both ends into the red and white females on the back of the DAC portion and plug the other ends into the females on the amp portion. This will take care of the conversion process. If you're unfamiliar with how DACs work or what they are, click the link above. I'll also leave a link down below in the description box. Next, you'll want to plug up the DAC to your PC via USB Type-B cable. Finally, plug the amp to power. There's a brick inside the box supplied by iFi. Now you're ready! Your PC should instantly recognize the DAC and install drivers. It will light up green when it's ready. Now just press the power button on the amp portion, making sure you're on input 1. Now fire up some music. The newer model added some extras that the Zen didn't have. 1 is the RCA connection from the DAC that we just discussed. 2 is any single-ended line input. You can use any DAC with an RCA output or line output. So I can use a 3.5mm interconnect from an E10K or Dragonfly Red into the amp if I want. You also have the option to use an RCA to 3.5mm in this scenario as well. 3 is a balanced 4.4mm input. You have the option of using the DAC plus amp fully balanced if you wish. Drop provides this at an additional $89. More on that later. It's also got a balanced 4.4mm output that you can use for connection to separate speakers. In addition to that, there's a 3 gain stage similar to my beloved K5 Pros. This puppy is packed with power! You've got a 6 dB boost, a 12 dB boost, as well as 18 if you really want to blow your eardrums out. Oh boy! Hearing loss! In all seriousness, the higher gain will obviously be used with more demanding headphones that require more juice to get pumping.
You load up, you party.
An example would be an Odyssey LCD4 or an AKG K240 M600 ohm version, both of which are extremely inefficient headphones. I'd feel more than comfortable driving most anything with this combo. The stack is so good, you may be up all night and forget to actually wake up in the morning.
Oh, stop! Up and up! What the fuck are you doing there?
Aside from those additions, there's your standard unbalanced 1/4 inch and a 4.4mm balance jack for use with balanced cables into your favorite headphone. Part of this balanced breakfast.
There go.
Lastly, there's an HD6XX button. Press once for the 6XX setting, twice for the 3D setting, and a 3rd time for both. A 4th time shuts them all off again. The original Zen had a true bass button and a power match button. I wouldn't consider it underpowered, but I do mostly use the headphones with the gain on. I've yet to have to turn the dial past 2 o'clock, so whoever tells you the iFi Zen is underpowered is lying!
Don't believe his lies. He is the one. Kill him.
Full disclosure, I have tested the 6XX extensively, but do not have a model here to use. I do, however, have basically the same headphone in the HD600. The main difference is that the mid-range on the 600 is more forward than that of the 6XX, at around 3K. So, for the burning question, what does the button actually do?
Let's talk about it.
To be perfectly honest, it does add a bit of depth to the HD600, but it's very subtle and could just be the track. I had to rewind the song to make sure the sound I heard off in the distance was actually part of the track. The 600s generally have very good instrument separation, but staging has always been fairly narrow. Pressing once more, the 3D button seems to open things up a tad, but it's still not a night and day difference. It's very subtle. Perhaps this is what iFi was going for, but I'm not entirely sure. The combo of both 3D and 6XX does make a fairly significant difference in the way a track sounds, but it's not necessarily an improvement, if that makes sense. As in, I don't really give a damn. The bass seems to hit a bit harder, adding some meaty flavor to the song. That's really about it. By all means, push the button. What about the sound differences between the original Zen and Zen CAN Signature without the button pressed? In short, there are none. It's the same sound. Not quite neutral, but not overly warm, striking a nice balance between the two. If you're interested in my full review of the Zen, click the link above. I will also link it down below in the description box. The real question here is if the Zen CAN is actually worth the price. Let's take a gander. The amp by itself costs $229 without a DAC. The original Zen combo amp DAC was $130, a pretty insane value. Drop claims that they're giving you a free power brick included at a $99 value with the can. I'm not going to argue with that, but okay. You also have the option of adding an $89 balanced 4.4mm cable to connect the two. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that one for now. But I need a DAC, you say? Absolutely, mate. Can't be too much more, right? $249? Crikey!
The amount will be $50 million.
$50 million?
That's $478 without a balanced 4.4mm cable. With one, it's over $500 easily at $567. This amp better give good hand jobs for that price and brew me a mean cup of coffee to boot. I'm sorry, but I would personally never pay that much for the Zen CAN. It's a great amp, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth almost $500. The Mojo isn't even really worth $500 sound-wise, and that's tied for the best I personally ever heard out of an amp, right alongside the $1,400 Bryson BHA-1. A fair price for the Zen CAN Signature, taking into account the added input options and improved power output, will be around $250 if they included a 4.4mm cable, an RCA to RCA, and a special power brick. Without every cable imaginable included in the package, this is a $200 product. Combined amp plus DAC. What can it do? Pun intended. That my K5 Pro can't. Well, it has a balanced 4.4mm option for your headphones, a line input, which is a very nice feature, and an HD6XX button. Okay, I'll give you $50 for all of that. Nothing more. This product seems to be taking advantage of the HD6XX's surging popularity, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that, provided you're pushing it at the right price. You're essentially shelling out a ton of money for a button that may or may not be a placebo. It adds some atmosphere, okay. So I'm going to drop everything and throw lots of cash at you? The 6XX is a fantastic headphone and deserves all the praise it gets and then some, but it shouldn't be used as a tool to sell an overpriced amp, especially considering the ever-growing problem of there being way too many amps and DACs on the market already. Does the 6XX really need the Zen CAN? That's debatable, but I would say no, it doesn't. Good amp, but nothing extraordinary. It's like a high-maintenance blonde chick that looks really good on the outside, but she isn't quite the conversationalist that you were anticipating, to put it mildly. She's dumb as a brick! Drop the price down and I consider purchasing this product. Otherwise, you can keep it. Well, that's about it for today, my friend. Leave me some love in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more great content like this, and turn on bell notifications while you're at it. If you really like what I do here and you want to support the channel in a more personal way, hit that Patreon link down below and check out all the value I have to offer. Last but not least, don't forget to ask me about my grandchildren. Don't feed the Oh, he's gone. I really don't know what happened to him. And most importantly, don't ever give up. Yeah. Yeah, check. Review brought to you by Stu. Here's the coda. I'm nasty on the mic. Call me warm soda. Chopped up this beat real fine like cold produce. Steady in my veggies so I can focus on my David Copperfield. Y'all hocus pocus. A little loopy when I wrote this. Esoteric dopeness. Cultivating the will of a soldier. Fighting through the pain like Dooku. I told ya, sold you on my style. Snapping on cats like Private Pile. I get semi-wild every once in a while. 911 on the dial. Alone at the top with no rival. Dark is my world without a Bible. Without God's love there's no survival. So my mindset is tribal. Yeah, my mindset is tribal. Yeah, my mindset is tribal.
Is this your homework, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Look, man.
Dude, please. Is this your homework, Larry?
Just ask him about the car, man.
Is this yours, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Is that your car out front?
Is this your homework, Larry?
We know it's his fucking homework. Where's the fucking money, you little brat?